Hiya, my name is Sheila Freeman, and I'm now going to try and sell myself and my website to you in a 2-minute video, and this feels very ironic to me because the whole ethos of my parenting and my book is to try not to worry too much about what other people think of you. But here we go. Nonetheless, I'll give it a bash. I started off as a new parent, very concerned with what people thought of me. It was something that engaged a great deal of my conscious thought. I was a heavy cannabis smoker, and I was a co-addict with my husband, and he was a violent man, and I was in a right mess basically, but I was absolutely terrified that people would find that out. I was trying to put on this persona of, yes, everything's fine, everything's lovely, don't find out that my husband hits me behind closed doors, and my children and wanting them to be smiley and beautiful and blonde and prettily dressed was all part of this massive facade that I was creating. But of course it was terribly dysfunctional, utterly miserable, and wasn't serving anybody's needs within the family, least of all my children's. It was only when they were my eldest daughter was 5 that I mean, obviously I did realise things weren't right, but at that point I'd started to actually actively look for a way out of my situation, and I started reading self-help books and to try and find some kind of inner peace. And while I was reading them, I realised that the things that the self-help books were describing as these wonderful attributes that we should all be seeking were things that my daughters already had. And it suddenly seemed to me crazy that I spent so much energy trying to make them different to what they were, whilst at the same time I was trying to make myself more like them. And it was a real moment of enlightenment for me, and I really thought, actually, do you know what? I don't want to change them from what they are, because they're really fab. I want to change myself from what I am. And that was really the start of trying to less to interfere, less to get them to be polite, to eat their dinner properly with their mouths shut, to learning to read as soon as possible because we must keep up with our peers. At that point I started to let go, not totally let go. I mean, it's been a hugely long journey. When I say that me and my children grew up together, that is really an accurate assessment of the situation. There was no magic wand that I suddenly became an enlightened parent. It's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back for years and years and years. But even within that, I feel that they have benefited tremendously just from my acknowledgement that I wasn't a better person than them, that I wasn't more knowledgeable than them, that just the fact that I accepted that they had an innate wisdom that I lacked, and was wanting to emulate that, wanting to watch them and pay attention to them and revel in the glories of the people that they were as children, I think was a huge bonus to all of us. And really that's what the book is about. It's